I got a few travel stories galore.
Put that right there.
Well, here's
Can't
the
wait.
thing. There's no goddamn direct flights to Key West from LaGuardia for whatever reason. Once every 3 days there's one. So I couldn't find one. We got to fly to Atlanta. And now the baby has reached an age where he's getting tough to fly with. I mean, we just keep doing it anyways. But now he walks, he grabs, he talks, he yells, he kicks, he screams. So he doesn't really scream, but he wants to walk and climb and punch in the balls.
Full of energy.
But yeah, so it's getting a little bit trickier. Early on, he just sleeps 100% of the time. So it's a challenge, and you got to have milk, but it's like you're a magician. You got to have a bottle of milk, 7 bananas, 3 apples, a toy car.
You're a prop comic.
Yeah, exactly.
You need a trunk.
Exactly. You're like, I got a dildo. I'm suction cupping it to my head, so he plays with that for 30 seconds. I got Blue's Clues on. I got Goodfellas over here. I'm playing Diana Ross on my phone. You're just juggling.
Yes.
And here's the thing, my son, he loves me the way I've always wanted someone to love me.
There you go.
Obsessed with me. But
the love of a young boy.
It's beautiful, but he doesn't want to be with anyone but me. So when we fly, he is on me 100% of the time. There's no like, okay, that was my hour. Here's your hour.
Right.
If I hand him over, he's like, I want Dad.
Yeah. No mom? Mom's, what's that, chopped liver?
Well, he loves her, obviously, and she can entertain him from over there, but he wants to sit with me. I'm the rock.
Wow. You made it.
It's every second. When I go to run an errand, if I want to go take a piss, I got to bring him with me or he freaks out.
Yeah, geez. That feels flattering, but it's also hard.
It's beautiful, but you're doing a lot more of the work when you're with them.
Sure.
Yeah, I leave for the road for 3 days sometimes. So
Hallelujah.
She's taking all of them then. But anyway, so it's every second with them. We fly to Atlanta. That flight's easy, not so bad. But the flight down, we got upgraded. We're flying first class. So the way down there, you're first class, you're cooking, you're having a nice time. It's great. You can walk around. You got some space. You can crawl. Flight from Atlanta to Key West, we got the double downgrade. We're in main cabin.
Oh, double down.
So we went from first class, we skipped over Comfort Plus all the way to main cabin.
How do you get double down?
Well, because I bought main cabin. But the first flight, Atlanta to LaGuardia, there's a million flights a day, so people are spread everywhere, so I got the status.
Right.
And here's the thing, if I'm being quite honest, my wife doesn't fly as much, so she's pulling me down. I'm diamond.
Yes.
I get upgraded on every single flight.
She's dead weight.
My wife is like wood. She has no status.
Yeah, well, what floats?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe she's lead.
She's lead. She's around my leg like this.
Yeah, she's bringing you down to the bottom of the ocean.
So I'm trying to get upgraded. I can't get up there.
Yes.
So I'm in main cabin.
So then with the fishies.
So I have this lady. Now we both have aisle. We're like 26C and 26D.
Yes.
She's across from me.
Pedophile.
She's had more than 26Ds. I'll tell you that. So
it's on the roof of her mouth.
So I'm back there. We get on the plane. I still have status, so I can get on the plane early. So I'm there. I'm letting them run around the seats. And then nobody's sitting in these two seats. So and the flight is like, we're about to take off. I'm like, maybe we have this whole row. This
what
is
a feeling.
unbelievable.
That's the best.
But, of course, you see these tiny little people way up there. The whole time they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You keep hoping they'll get in the seat. And finally, they're this big. It's a guy, and the guy's like this. They're both out of breath. Whew. Guy gets in. He's like, I'm in the window. He gets in the window. Then the lady, an old lady, not that old, probably 60.
Okay.
She sits down. Whew. Coughing.
Oh, come on now.
Coughing everywhere. She goes, I'm not sick. I left my carry-on at the lounge. I had to run back at the last second. The husband's like this. I've never seen a husband hate a wife more than anybody, and I know you. I mean, he's just staring like this. He's staring at her like this. So evidently they got to the plane, and then she's like, "Oh, my carry-on's in the lounge."
That
and they're
is
like,
pretty batty.
Already the last people on the plane, so they had to sprint back. They're in their late hundreds. They have to come back. They're out of breath. She's coughing like on my son's face. He's sitting there. And now a second ago, he had all three seats. Now he's like this, and so he's smacking her in the face and pulling her hair. And she goes, why don't you guys switch? That's your wife? Why don't we switch? Because that way he can have 2 seats. And I'm like, that's okay. We're good. And she's like, well, I'll switch. It starts getting.
Oh, the forced switch.
And I go, no. It's okay. We're fine. Because this way I can put him in the aisle. She's over there.
Oh, that's good.
And it doesn't matter. He stays with me anyway. Well, why we can? Are you sure you don't want to switch? We're happy to switch. It just feels like he'll be more comfortable. And I'm
She
like,
wants out of the middle.
yeah. And I'm like, we're comfortable. I'm very comfortable.
You're not pulling that on us, sister.
And she hates her husband. I go, well, don't you want to sit with your husband? She's like, yeah. And I look over, and the guy literally is like doing this. And he's like, honey, it's enough. It's enough. Like that. And she's like, well, I'm trying to help, And I'm like, yeah, we don't want to, no switch.
No switch.
I don't need no switch. So we sit, and then she's just coughing, and she goes, have you been to Key West before? Oh, yeah, I've been to Key West. It was like your mother. I'm like, she's like, well, what's fun to do? And I'm like, I literally have a 1-year-old son on me. I'm trying to entertain him. He's kicking the seat in front. And by the way, he loves to just kick the seat.
They all do.
I have to say to the woman in front of me, I'm like, I'm going to do my absolute best. I got a 1-year-old back here, and she's sweet. Everyone always, if you address it before,
that's big.
People are very nice.
I've never had anyone address.
And I do work on it. I grab his foot and I smack him, and I go, all right. So she goes, no problem. And this lady wants to talk about Key West.
Oh, yeah. What are you, a fucking brochure?
Exactly. She goes, I'm going to Key West. I'm taking a tour, an art tour. She pulls out a piece of paper all stapled together. She's like, have you heard of this art thing? Have you heard of this thing? I never heard of that. I don't know. It was fucking a nightmare.
Yikes.
And then the husband's like, honey. And she's like, what? He's been to Key West. And she goes, I'm on a girls' trip. I'm the only one that brought my husband. This poor guy, you can tell he's just is like, why am I on this trip?
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate everything. So then at one point, the baby starts getting worked up. He's tired of sitting there. So we try to give him to Sarah. I'm like, here you go. He sits with her because she lured him in with Blue's Clue, whatever it's called, Bluey.
Bluey.
And then he kind of nudges that seat, and this woman goes like this. Stands up and looks. I goes, because she kicked the seat a little bit. Like I'm talking 20 seconds he's been sitting there.
Wow.
Makes slight contact. She stood up and looked like this. And I go, sorry, he's a baby.
Oh, shit.
I gave her he's the baby.
Yeah.
And then I go, you know what, just give him on back. And then I couldn't stand this lady.
Sure.
The turnaround look.
The stand and turn is wild.
Stand and turn. Never seen that move in my life. And then at the end of the flight, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I didn't even notice. People should be allowed to fly with their kids. Don't even worry about it. And I said, thank you. I appreciate you. That is very kind.
Yes.
And then I gave her a look, which was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go, well, I couldn't. She was fat and ugly and old and a real of a woman.
There you go.
That's a good film. Of a woman.
Of a woman.
That would be a good porn.
And it had a scent.
Ooh,